William Saunders here, the co-founder of Print My ATM. So before we go ahead and begin, I see quite a few of my students on here, active students. Let's see. Okay. So you guys just need to keep in mind that this webinar is not an analysis webinar. It's not per se a regular training webinar for active members and stuff. It's more public webinar FAQ. So if you guys are active students right now and you did have any questions in regards to something that you may have come across within a student lounge, then by all means, I have no problem answering that. The most I can get into as far as walkthrough is probably the basic level. So for those of you that are higher, I would probably just have to be able to explain it until we actually have that webinar and stuff. Other than that, those of you that are not an active student, I mean, you're free to ask anything that you would like in regards to trading in general, binary options, what we have to offer, and kind of going from there. So there should be a chat box somewhere on there, and I mean, you guys can just type in your questions, or if you prefer to speak, I can unmute your mic if you do have one. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, today is a bank holiday. So I do believe the markets are closed. So that's for, let's see here. Yes, I went in with the practice account, and I do see they're doing long-term trades and stuff. Now, if you guys are trading probably perhaps forex or futures, I know it'd be open to a certain amount of time or something. So let's see. Okay. Now, so this is let me check really quick. So it looks still active then. So you guys shouldn't have a problem with that. It should be still active. All right. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Well, in regards to following the process, it just means that whatever is actually laid out, Tim, just kind of go through everything. You don't have to learn everything. Just follow your course outline that goes out via email. So we actually have the fast track for you guys to kind of keep up with. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now, if you guys are on intermediate or let's say advanced, it is recommended to still go through the basic material. Okay, now when you guys are logged in here, and this is the basic outline, you guys can tell when you start shifting over the tabs. Okay, so most of the time basics is just going to be out, as you can see, like this, or basic would be in this black window module here. Okay, and then if I'm correct, the different level, you would actually see it change of color. Okay, so your novice material would probably be, let's say yellow or something. I know for a fact the intermediate material would be on the green, and I believe advanced material is like burgundy or something like that. So that's how you guys would know exactly when you are learning something, which content that would be pretty much be in order, as you can see in its nature. So it's going to have this, and then the next level, and the next level. Now, if you see it's past that green content, and then there's no color next to it, more than likely that would be intermediate material until it does do that color switch over. So that's how you guys can tell where's that content at. All right, let's see what else. Yeah, I got this one is much longer, so let me pop open this here. Yeah, okay. So, Alex, if you're on intermediate, then and let's see, intermediate, what strategy should I focus on if I have not been on basic yet? Okay, if you're on intermediate and you're trading binary, you definitely should look at basic webinar number 6, excuse me, and basic webinar number 17. And the reason being is because there's something that goes into great details when it comes to using technique 2, how to get feedback from the market. That's the only thing you want to take into consideration is understanding the feedback from the market. When is it time to get out of that trade and everything like that, okay? So that's what basic webinar number 6 covers and everything like that. Also, you should have enough basic knowledge. Okay, so you've done it already, so that's great. So now you just want to take that feedback that you've gotten from that and to implement that in your next trading technique. Now, for intermediate, our main technique is actually the 80-20 analysis. I believe that's using the free stock charts, and that works great, okay? So the 80-20 analysis, you can focus on that. Also, the 4 pillars of time is very good. If you don't see that yet, give or take it another 5 days, and you should be able to see that. Also, with the intermediate, there should be 5-bar breakout. Okay, so that's great as well. Now, you can stick to using the platforms that we recommend as far as analysis. I know sometimes, let's see. Yeah, I know sometimes you guys do have different chartings and stuff like that, especially like on intermediate. More than likely, you guys probably know about like the MetaTrader 4 charts and stuff. So that's perfectly fine. I mean, some of the principles that we do have, you could implement on your Meta 4 trader chart. Okay, for instance, the 4-line reversal when it comes to identifying the probability of, you know, whether the market will touch your S1 or your S2 or your R1 or your R2. Okay, so that probability setup can be placed on your MetaTrader 4 charting. Okay, let's see, that could be a combination of technique 3. Tech 3 is okay. To be honest, the 80-20 analysis is the more advanced version of Tech 3. Tech 3 is great for basic students when they're coming in and they don't want to have all this complicated stuff, and then they can actually do that. That's perfectly fine. Now, when you're on intermediate, the only thing I would have you do is to use the 80-20 analysis. But if you guys are using, let's say, the slot format, it would be best to model from Technique 2 slot format, okay? And I cover that over the previous webinars as well. So how to model and take from that, how to get feedback from the market. For instance, you guys may jump into a trade using an 80-20 analysis, and you have to understand when to get out of that trade or when you should pursue it to recover the losses and stuff like that. So the market is always going to tell you, you know, give you that live feedback without necessarily having to actually, you know, analyze it for hours and stuff like that. So just taking that information in regards to if you're leveraging your capital, okay, when it comes to using slots, you guys should already know you should be winning on your average, your second or third slot. That's average. If you guys are really, really good, then it's your first or second slot, okay? If you guys are winning on slot 4, then that means that you need to reevaluate the market, okay? So when you're taking trades like this, especially long-term trades and stuff, and you guys have a winning streak, you guys should understand your winning streak, okay? You guys should, you know, understand a couple things, and we will help you understand that with your portfolio analysis. So you guys would actually send that in, and we can identify what's your winning ratio and everything like that. But for the most part, once again, it's just about taking the principles of it instead of really just learning different techniques and this and that, because all of the techniques within the community can be used at one point or another. I mean, we have it to where you could come in the first 2 hours of the market, you can use, 80-20s analysis. If you guys don't have time to analyze the market and you just want to kind of just jump in on a pillar, you can use the 4 pillars of time. If you guys want to take advantages of the fundamentals of the market, and especially like news releases and stuff like that, you guys can use the 4 pillars of, the 4-line reversal with a 30-pip confirmation. Okay, and that's the majority of your market there. In between that, you would have some consolidation or some congestion time frame where the market's not really moving and everything like that, and that's where your Tech 2 comes in at, okay? All right, so let's see. So if I'm on intermediate, my portfolio analysis that it should submit, it should have to be, or could it be another form of strategy? Okay, when you submit your portfolio analysis, it can be any technique, to be honest. It can be, you know, of course, we prefer our techniques and stuff like that. But, excuse me, guys. Let me grab a drink real quick. Okay. Now, let's say it's something from our community that's great. We specialize in that, okay? So we can correct that and everything. But let's say you had a different setup or something like that. We can analyze that as well. The whole purpose of portfolio analysis, in all honesty, is to make sure you guys are following risk management, okay, to get your winning ratio down to the key to get your losing streak and to see what your winning percentage is, okay? Now, sometimes we can just tweak a couple of that, which can also be what's your strongest asset, what's your weakest asset, and remove those and add more of that. What's your best trading time? What's your best trading session? So we kind of go through a whole criteria during the portfolio analysis to see how well you guys can actually, you know, tweak it to improve and perform your winning and trading career. Okay. So if you send us something and it's not one of our, you know, per se techniques or setups, the principles are still the same. Even if you take a screenshot of that charting, we can see what's actually working. Okay, we've done tests on, I would say, nearly 1,000 different indicators that comes out and everything like that, and kind of go from there. And then once we've done that, we can actually know what's working and take it down to the simplified process of what it's analyzing compared to just throwing a whole bunch of indicators on your screen. All right, so let's see. Okay, so you had a question, Patrick Woodley. Let's see if you can come in. Hey, Patrick, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, gotcha. Did you have a question?
Oh yeah, I want to know about taxes and stuff. If you have like an account, like $50,000, and if you want to withdraw it from your account,
Okay.
what is the bank going to tell you? What do you have to pay in taxes and stuff?
Yeah, okay, so it kind of depends, and we do have recommended tax specialists that we could recommend, especially once you start making, you know, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. We normally start that off at our intermediate, but if you're, let's say, on novice or basic, and you start making that kind of money, you can just send in a message to the board, say, hey, I need to get some taxes done, this and that, or tax specialist, and we can, you know, see that detail. Majority of the time, I'll see this and actually upgrade. But the way that it works, it comes down to two principles, okay? So the first thing is if you have other income coming somewhere else. For instance, if you work a job or if you have a company and everything like that, if you do have income coming somewhere else, then you're considered an investor, okay? So it's a little bit different to as a full-time trader or a day trader. So that's the two different benefits that comes down with it. Now, in regards to paying taxes and everything like that, it can go anywhere from 0% depending on 0 to 20% depending on how you have it set up, okay? You know, especially in this whole field, it's kind of a gray area, but that's where the tax specialists come in. Now, I recommend anytime you're sending money directly to your bank account, anything over $10,000 that's coming in, the banks would ask you, you know, kind of sit down and say, hey, where's this money coming from, this and that. Your banks is going to report it to IRS anyhow. So you're going to be liable of actually paying that money that comes through directly into your bank, anything that's over $10,000 and stuff like that. So your tax preparer can actually set it up to where you're putting a certain amount of, let's say, 20% to the side, or where you're paying, what is it? kind of like quarterly, or they can put it in a certain way. Now, the way that I've done it, okay, hold on, let's see. Okay, so you still there, Patrick? Try to mute it and then come back through. Okay. Now, the way that I have done it is basically I have my guys, and since I am the CEO and founder of Print My ATM, I can't file my taxes as a full-time trader. Okay, so I do a portion of it is investing, or what I do is have a I use another corporation to trade on my behalf on my trading account, then I can count that off as a business. Okay, so there's some loopholes into it to where you're able to leverage, per se, not necessarily get away with paying too much taxes, but to leverage your money and how it's positioned and gotten around. Okay, let's see. Hey, Patrick, try to log out, then log back in, because I lost you, bud. Let's see. Okay, just a minute, guys. Let me see if he's back on. Okay, so we're going to wait on him, but for those of you that are actually listening and everything like that, I mean, that's basically how your tax is going to happen. But I mean, for the most part, don't worry too much about it right now. I have my guys only focused on understanding their trading stats first and getting this whole emotional thing down packed to where they're not over trading and everything like that. You know, you have a successful trading schedule. Now, once you have that successful trading schedule, it does not matter. You guys can actually take that anywhere with binary. You can take that over to Forex and take it over to futures and even over into penny stocks. And that's how I've done this in literally 3 years, okay? And to be honest, more like 2.5 years, okay? I spent about a year in binary, spent like 6 months into Forex. I spent about 6 months into futures, and now I'm like 2 months into penny stocks. And it's been easy for me to transition over because I have my trading schedule, okay? I have this whole, trader's mindset, down pack and everything like that, risk management. So it's been very easy for me to transition over. So once you guys get that, then you can worry about taxes. And technically, you guys still don't worry about taxes. You hire someone else to worry about your taxes for you. Let's see. Okay, so I'll wait till you get back, Patrick. Let's get on with the questions really quick. Okay, which strategy or technique would you recommend for someone with a low budget? Once again, it depends on your performance, okay? And I can say you don't want to focus on your budget right now. You want to focus on which one you can have the best success rate with, which one you can have the highest performance rate with, okay? And that's, okay. And basically, that's what I've had students do. I've had students come in and say, hey, I only have $200 to put in my trading account, or I only have $500 to put in a trading account. Once they learn the stuff, they end up finding more money, putting in $2,000, $5,000, because they understand that their trading stats is, and they do whatever they do. They may borrow it from relatives or whatever, but they're very persuasive when it comes to getting the additional capital that's recommended to really make some money. So this is why I always recommend my guys to just follow the process and stuff like that. Now, I've noticed, per se, to be honest, if you guys are using something like Tech2, you can start off with $200 or something like that, okay? I mean, you can do that, and you can have some success as far as daily gain. We can talk about anywhere from 5% a day or 10% a day. Now, you're not going to make full-time income to where you can quit your job with $200 or $500 in your trading account and basic information, okay? But you can take 200 and take it 90 days and turn that into, $1,000 or, 1,500, 2,000 by safely trading it, okay? Same thing goes with 500. You can, triple or double that within a certain amount of time to actually have some money to grow. So if you do have, a small amount of budget to actually work with in regards to trading, just do the best technique that actually suits you with the most performance. So technique 2 on a basic level, a lot of people are very familiar with. And the reason why they love it is because of that live market feedback that they can get, and they understand that. Now, the other one, let's say, yes, and Tech 2 won't be safe for you until you understand the feedback. I love Tech 2. I think it's one of the most perfected techniques. A lot of you guys that have been using what they call the martingale technique and stuff. Now you got to keep in mind that the martingale and Tech 2 is very similar, but it's entirely worlds apart. So I know people that come in and use the martingale, and I think they have like 4 trades that they do, and they do the double up and stuff, so they have a bad experience with that. Tech 2 is a little bit different per se, okay? So basically, you guys really need to come in, yeah, okay, so I'll get to those other questions in just a minute, guys. So basically, you guys really need to come in and understand what's your breakout point when using Tech 2, okay? Tech 2 is great. I mean, it's very great. You get live market feedback. The weakness of Tech 2 is breakouts, not knowing your breakout points, or trying to do Tech 2 when there's news releases and stuff like that happening and everything in that nature, okay? But besides that, you guys can safely use Tech 2 anywhere from 45 minutes on to like 3 hours, okay? And to kind of jump start it. The other one that a lot of my students prefer to do is the 4-line reversal with 30 pip confirmation, okay? And the reason why they prefer that is because the market movement is so, I mean, it's so much to where it's kind of hard to miss your entry and not make money from that, okay? So that's the other one. The 80-20 analysis, it's more of a long term. So if you guys want to sit, and watch the market for 2 hours for a perfect setup just to take, anywhere from 1 to 3 trades, that's perfectly fine too, okay? So you guys can do that. Let's see. Tech 1 is okay. It's just more. Tech 3, I definitely, if you're having much success with Tech 3, that's fine. But once you understand the 80-20 analysis, you want to move on to that, okay? So let me see. Go over the questions. All right. Okay, so let me get you back on. You're back there, Patrick?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So did you get all of that? If not, I do have this recorded, so you can play that back in regards to the taxes.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you have another question?
Not so far, no.
Okay, got it. So I'll get back to the next person. All right. Okay, let's see. No, if you guys are on, basic or novice or anything like that, you do not need to upgrade in order to get results, okay? Let's see there. Everything is perfected in its entirety. Yeah. So out of the 3 techniques, the technique that was my base when my trading style, it was definitely Tech 2. And the reason being, when I first started trading, guys, especially binary options, And it's totally different if you guys are using MC4 charts and all this stuff. I mean, it's so different. And this is why I like to work on the broker's graph. And let me tell you, because I've used MT, and I still have my MT4 set up here. So, I mean, I got my MT4 set up, and I got a 1-minute time frame that I use that helps me out, which is a part of the alpha system. So I believe that's alpha 3. So if I do want to take like 1-minute time frames, I have this whole setup here. You know, and it has key pointers to alert me and different things and stuff like that or whatever. You know, but prior to using alpha 3 here, I was using this chart. You know, now let's see, and most of my charts was a channel trend. Okay, like this is a channel trend here. And this is what I try to get you guys to identify. We can see Euro USD is very big for channel trends. It's one of my favorite. It topped off here, it topped off here, and here. So once it does reach around this, especially this time, as we can see here, it double top there. So if it did come up to here the third time, I know that it's either going to stop around this price or it's going to stop around this price. The only way it can break above that is through a breakout happening. Same thing with the support here. Here's the low, here's the low again, here's the low again, and then it stayed above that, and then it dropped down to here, but it still came back, and then look at this, it dropped down again, and then it popped up, dropped down again, it popped up. So when you guys are trading, you know, 60-second time frames, I mean, the odds of it coming back down here, especially a third time, such as this, that's not even all the way down as this whole price. It's more the same as these, and that's some really strong support. So when it did come down, I mean, you can take a whatever your trading account balance is, you can just take one trade and just go in and do that for 1 minute and stuff. Now the thing about it is that you're limited to doing that many trades, especially with the channel trend, depending on how you do it. Now let's say if I wanted to do 5 trades at $20 a piece, and I wanted to get the best out of 5 and then stop trading, that's perfectly fine. That's more like technique 1. Now let's say if I want to do what is it, tech 2, because you know I just want to lock in the market and everything like that, that's perfectly fine. Okay, and this is perfect for tech 2 because this is the lowest it's actually been, and just to do a quick demonstration, I can actually do that really quick so you guys can get a visual of what's going on. So the lowest is 975. I just pay attention to this right here. Excuse me, 975. So I want to lock in anything that's actually above 9. Yeah, so anything above 975, I'm locking in. It's currently 972. So I mean, most traders with binary, they can do a couple things. They can hedge and place another trade the same equal amount and go there. But if you prefer to do tech 2 is great. Now keep in mind that the lowest this has been is right around 950. So of course, if you guys are, you know, getting in and everything like that, and then the market drops down to, you know, 950, and then you take a trade, then it breaks this 950, you guys are in a breakout zone. Okay, so you have to understand how to identify a breakout zone. All right, and I mean, this is like just little tedious things that I'm actually doing up on a broker. I didn't pull out no MT4 chart or anything like that. Now the key to it that I've noticed that students actually do is they overtrade and they're not following the process. They worry about making money, all this stuff. I mean, it's not. Let's see, what's this? Okay. Yeah, so this is a previous account I just did. So the trade we're looking at is this one right here. So I mean, and that goes, I put it at 975. Okay, so 975 was my first entry. Pay attention to this. 973. I don't want a 973. That's too high. I saw it at 968. 968 is a lot better for me. Now, some people may want that 973 and it still shot up. In this case, I don't want the 973. So you guys have to be able to understand your entries that you're getting instead of just taking trades just to take a trade or trading off of emotion. Okay. Now, rest assured, I mean, that's still pretty good. But once again, that wasn't the entry that I wanted. So I didn't take the trade, okay? Now, I want to get around 970s, 960s, and I know my breakout is below the 950. Okay, now this is me using technique 2. Okay, so I mean that's perfectly fine. And even if you guys are taking little $5 trades like this, or whatever the case may be, then that's pretty good. Same thing goes with your let's see, your resistance top here. If you catch it here, 980. So 980s is pretty high. It could break around. That looks a little bit higher. So 980s are like 999. It could break there, or it could jump all the way up to here to 0.31. So I mean that's the thing. But right now the support is definitely strong. If you guys want to take a time base here, we can see it's 1346. Almost to 1446. So almost an hour, it has stayed above 1096. Pretty easy. Almost an hour. It has touched that zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wouldn't even count that. 8, 9, 10, 11 times. It has touched the same price range and bounced off here and shot up. I mean, this just exploded. Look at it. So even at that price getting in there, that still would have been successful. Now, once again, depending on, and today is a bank holiday, so I'm coming much more near that whole resistance area, okay? Now, this is the first level of resistance that I can see, so I can lock in that price just to kind of get in. But I prefer to have this price right here, and it's what I want. I'm not allowing the market to control my emotions. So if it jumps up to here, this level or even this level, I'll go ahead and get in for a put trade. Okay, and that's the thing. Traders see this and it's spiked up and they're so excited for it to come down. It could come down, but you want to trade off of profitability, off of understanding this stuff. Don't allow the market to control you. Okay, let's see. And that's the thing, because if it does break past this, it's going to stop right here. And once again, if it does break past this, it could go past that, past this level. And the reason why I would do it is because the press release is happening, all this stuff or whatever. But guess what? You don't even see me checking this information here. I mean, really, when it comes to using Tech 2, it's irrelevant, to be honest. This is more of end of the day trades, okay? And I talk about this during novice and intermediate and all that stuff or whatever. Let's see. Here's a much better view of it, of that price. So of course, if you guys are using, and let's take a look here. Oh, so yeah, so I canceled that, and 973 was, you know, pretty good compared to that I got in at 975. Now, the only reason why I didn't take it at 973 is because I was going for 968, and then I seen it jump to 973. Now, I've noticed in the past when it does that, and then I hit my entry, sometimes the screen may load up, and you'll probably get something like a different rate. So it'd be like 996. Even though it explodes up and stuff like that. So I don't like to take my trades exactly when the numbers change so much right then and there. Now, let's just take a look at this. And this is what I've done on another presentation, but minus this that was canceled out. If you guys take a look at this, you can see that it won the first time around, then it lost, won the second time around, and then won the third time around, okay? Now, majority of the time, if you guys are analyzing the market and trading off of channel trends like this, okay, you should be winning your second and third time or second and third slot on average. If you're very accurate, you're going to win on your first slot, okay? Your first and second slots are very accurate. Now, let's see, we got this coming up to here. Now, let me pop it out to the hour because I want to see what's going on. Now that's very good, very good. Okay, so that's near the high. So I mean, coming out to here, I want to come down, so 23. And the reason why I'm taking 23, because what's going to happen is it's either going to come up to this level right here, if I can get it. So I'm locking in anything that's down below 23. If it shoots up, it should stop at these two levels, okay? And then I can take my entry going back down. Now, if it shoots up and break past this, I need to have, you know, at least 2 to 3 slots, because then that means it's reaching a breakout point. And once it reaches the breakout point, I need to be able to have enough slots to make up for pretty much my my losses and stuff like that. So this is going on with Tech 2 and everything. So here's it coming through here, but I'm still cautious of this breakout, which is 47. I'm still cautious of that. And the amounts really don't matter right now, guys. The only thing that matters, let's see, 3, 2, 1, that's a close call. So it's very close. You guys got to watch that too as far as how is it loading up. Okay, so that one, I was very close, but I was ready to pull the trigger again on that. Now, rest assured, it's probably going to double top here at this price and go back down, or what it's going to do is break above this price and stop right there and go from there and stuff like that. Okay, but the thing I'm seeing you guys do is when you're using Tech 2, let's say you'll get in right here, and this is the problem. You're catching it in on a high. Let's see, like right here, you'll get in, or you probably got in here, and you don't get out right here. And then you use slot 2, and then you go on, then it goes up, then you use slot 3. I mean, this is like mid-range resistance. Your main resistance are going to be up here and up here. Your breakout is technically anything past here, okay? And that's just how it is, and you guys can just wait and watch this. Now, once again, this is me doing a channel trend chart. It has a lot of feedback. I'm not using no MT4 chart or anything like that. We can switch over different graphs. This is something that's more of a Tech 2, as we can see, or future Tech 3. And I mean, just look at this. The market is slowly climbing up, okay? So even right here, when it dropped down to this price, okay, 223, it didn't go below this price. So you guys would think that you can do some, you know, some call trades going up and stuff like that. And it's kind of small, and we can even do that here. So 222. Now, as far as this coming down, like straight down and breaking all of this, it is possible. But if it does do it, you have a strong possibility it's going to stop right here, okay? But right now, it's kind of just being very feeble and everything like that, and just doing that thing. So let's go ahead and switch this over to, I like to keep it down right here. So it's just slowly going through, and let's see, I got it at 222, so 218. I'm also wary of the time too. So I got, you know, a few minutes before a breakout happens, and that's because I'm used to it and stuff like that. So now it's going down pretty low. So still paying attention to that there. So 222, I got it currently at 202. Another thing is, if this does reverse, this is kind of the high end too, so I'm just waiting to see. 130 is just like more of the main part. So let's see what it does. And I'm going to get back to the questions after this. Now, some brokers, depending on what you're doing, like this is spot options. You know, I used to always trade off of spot options. I love spot options, but I was having problems with them, okay? So then you have the tech financial brokers and everything like that, you know, which is pretty good that you can use and kind of go about it from there. Let's see. So that's how it is with like binary. But I mean, you guys, as far as like time frame, I mean, I literally just jumped in a market, and I just seen charts that I'm used to. These charts pop out at me because guess what? I've been trading them so long. I take screenshots of my charts and everything like that. Now, rest assured, let's just take a look and see what we got. $5 trade here, won that. We lost that, but we made some money back there and everything like that. Now, once again, the amounts that you are using does not matter per se, okay? The only thing this matters is controlling your risk management. That's what this matters is. As far as making money, how much money you're making, that does not matter. The only thing, once again, is to control your risk management, how much money you're losing, how much money you have exposed to the market and stuff like that, and understanding this process. Okay, so I've taken, we canceled that trade, but I've taken 4 trades, okay? So once I've taken 4 trades, my first trade I won. Second trade, well, first trade here I won, and then I lost this trade, and then won on the second trade. Okay, so once again, if your analysis is very accurate, you're going to want your first and second trade when it comes to using slot 2. Now, the reason why I say this is something like slot 2, it's because I'm prepared to use, you know, 4 to 6 slots. Okay, and it's very small. If you guys are using something like Tech, what is it, Tech 1? These could have been even trades, okay? We could have said, let's take a look, 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. So I've actually won 3 out of 4 trades. So they all could have been $5. They all could have been $50. They all could have been $1,000, you know, $10,000. I won 3 out of 4, okay? Using that same format and stuff like that. So I'm understanding the charting and stuff like that. You guys can change the amounts a little bit later on. Okay, you can start off, if you're using slots or you can change that once you understand the process and got it down pat. It just comes down to analyzing the charts, sticking with the charts, and getting familiar with it and stuff, and going more about that. Now, as far as, let me pop this back open and I can explain it really quick. Okay. Yeah, this is being recorded, and let me see. Yeah, very impressive. What do you mean channel trend in a market? How do you place a cancel trade? Okay, you got a time frame, Sharif, to place cancel trades before that actually happened, okay? I mean, for instance, this case, I'm about to come in and take a trade. It actually offers you to cancel and stuff like that. And then even per se, I don't know if it gives you a time frame to go through here. You can cancel again before that closes out. So you got like 2 seconds to cancel that trade. And this goes long-term trades and stuff like that. Now, some trading platforms, they call it turbo, they won't allow you to actually cancel trades. You don't even approve it. As soon as you hit, it actually jumps you in the market. Okay, now if you guys are doing long-term trades like this, you can cancel the trades and stuff or whatever. Okay, now even the rest take it. Here's a long-term chart, a long-term trends. We can see that this topped out at 14.15. Okay, that's a double top at 14.15. We can say 15 minutes later, here is it at. Okay, so that's down. Check this out though. Here's some lows. This is a triple bottom. 15 minutes later, it reverses. Okay, so I mean, you guys can trade using these charts. Okay, to be honest, when I jumped into binary options, I didn't know about any other thing, and I was self-taught, and I used these chartings to understand how to take some trades. And then when I got my first mentor, I believe it was Doug West. Doug West actually taught me how to use the charting and everything like that, and it was kind of you know, half and all this stuff. Second one taught me to use MT4 charts. Okay, so that was my second mentor. Now he told me to stay away from these short term, and at the time, you guys have to understand, I was doing about $500 to $1,000 a day off these 60-second trades. And I found out later on why he told me to stay away from these 60-second trades, and that's because of the entries. You know, sometimes you'll get in and entries are off and everything like that. But guess what? If you guys are winning your trades most of the time, and let me go back here and see. Let's take a look. Where's that one that we won? For instance, this, we won by 1 tick. Okay, if you guys are always winning your trades by 1 tick, okay, of course you're going to have problems trading 60 seconds and stuff like that, or whatever. But if I go back and take a look at that chart here, I believe that's what, yeah. So that still came down. And this is, let me pop this back. And this is the chart we was looking at, guys. So this is a chart that I actually took the trade from right here, and then it came down. Then I told you guys it was going to double top. It actually triple top, and then it went back down. Okay, and we can see this is 1438, 1438. Let's see, I took that at 1438. Okay, and that's the one that I won by one tick. Okay, now rest assured, if it would have came back up, I would have taken an entry there or taken an entry there, and then it still came down. I mean, pretty big. And I'm doing this all from trading the broker's graph, and it's because I understand this. I understand how the market is operating, and most of the time, short-term trades, you don't need a extensive graph like this, okay? You really don't. And to be honest, if you're trading 15-minute trades, as I stated here, if you can understand a channel, the channel graph just means that it's, yeah, it's very simple. Okay, your highs are right here, your lows are right here. Okay, the only thing that can affect the channel graph is breakouts, and breakouts happens during market shifts, which is market hours changing. Also, breakout happens during press release and news announcements. Okay, but other than that, the market will stay between these perimeters right here until a market shifts from, you know, crossing markets, exchanging markets, or a press release happen. Okay, here's a different asset, and once again, if you're not familiar with the graph, don't trade it. You know, and this is what portfolio analysis comes in at. It helps you guys get familiar with the graphs. This is going to break out very soon. I'm talking about in the next, I would say 5 to 15 minutes is going to break out, because technically this is a pre-breakout. It broke out right here, and what it's doing is this is convincing traders that, hey, it's going to pull back up, but this is going to break down even lower, okay? So I wouldn't even attempt to trade this just yet, because I know it's going to go crashing down. It's just stalling out and stuff like that. I don't trade these exotic assets. Sometimes you guys may have some success with it. Hooray, you can trade it. I don't trade these exotic assets. I trade assets that I'm very familiar with. And that goes all around. You won't never catch me trading any of this stuff, BMW stuff. I mean, I'm not going to attempt to do something like that. You guys will never catch me doing a ladder. I've tried to do this ladder stuff in the past, and I've had success with it. But it's not duplicatable. It's not something that I can, you know, put my money up on. You won't catch me trading this stuff right here. You won't catch me trading this, and I do trade Forex, okay? And you won't catch me doing this on its broker. What I'm very specialized in, short-term trades, and these, you know, per se, short-term trades and stuff like that, where you can do this, and I specialize in reading these broker graphs. Now, of course, a graph like 24 options, it's a little bit different. It's a line graph. Sometimes there's not enough data for you to actually read, okay? But these graphs, spot option graphs, you know, I can read those without a problem. So let me jump back into the questions here. Let's see. Yeah, everyone's typing in. Yeah, Rodney, this is going to be recorded and stuff, and I do have a separate section for it. I'm actually uploaded to the channel as well. Let me see if anyone wants to talk on audio. A second, guys. Okay. Hey, Rodney, can you hear me? Hey, Rodney. Okay. So I guess his audio's off. All right, let's see who else got it. No other questions. Everyone is raising. Got it. Yes, I mean, that's just pretty much it, guys. I mean, you just really have to follow the process. There's no tricks or anything like that to it. And I mean, I could come in all day. Well, not really all day, but I mean, I could come in any day of the week. And as long as I see a graph like this, I'm going to make money. Okay. Now, if I come in trying to work on something like this, then I would need something else that's a little bit different. But as long as I see a graph like this, I'm going to always make money. It's always going to be just about the same as we can see here. I'm going to get the entries that I'm going to want, and I'm going to just, you know, make some money majority of the times and stuff like that. It's just that you guys come in and you don't pay attention to the breakouts that's happening, okay? And you just have to understand that. If it breaks above this, that's a breakout. You got to wait for the market to readjust itself and everything like that to get some more data and get more feedback and stuff. So I definitely can read this and pick out perfect trades on something like this. Also, on the webinars within the community, guys, the Student Lounge, I give out the assets that I trade and the best trading times that I like to trade. So you guys are kind of piggybacking off my schedule when it comes to using, you know, these techniques. And as I stated, I know the ins and outs of my technique structures, okay? I know the ins and outs of Tech 1, how Tech 1 can be used, especially like long term. I know the ins and outs of Tech 2. These are mastered, okay? And when I mean mastered, this just means that you can generate 6 figures just from that technique because I've done it, okay? Even to this day, on the knowledge that I do have, if I'm not trading like Forex or anything like that, if I'm trading binary options, I will still use technique 2 on platforms like Boss Capital, because guess what? Your 60-second trades is $1,000, $3,000, and I've actually done this. This is how I turn, I think it was a $500 deposit, and I turn it into like 10 grand or something in like 2 weeks from doing Boss Capital, taking large trades and like that. But guess what? Some people are scared to do a $1,000 trade on 1 minute. But the thing is, if you understand your trading stats, and this is what you're doing, if you can take a $5 trade and a $10 trade, and you're always winning your first or second plot, you can take a $10,000 trade here on your first trade and take a $30,000 on your second trade. And if you're always trading the same charts and the same schedule, you're going to get the same results. The dollar does not matter. I mean, the only time that money matters is when it comes to managing your losses. But as far as making money, I mean, you can change the amounts and everything later. Okay. Another thing you guys probably are skipping, if you're using Tech 2 or even any techniques, Technique 1, we have risk management factors on there. Okay. If you got $1,000, why tie up 4 or 5 slots, to be honest, with your $1,000 and you do not know your trading stats? Okay. Now, for instance, I know my stats right now is 1 and 2. That's I'm always going to win my first and second straight trade, okay, regardless of what I'm doing. If I win on my 4th trade, no matter what technique I'm using, that means I had 3 losses and then I won on my 4th trade, no matter what technique I'm using. That means that the market is changing. I need to reevaluate the market. That is not normal for me, okay? So why would I continue to take a trade in that direction? I don't understand, you know, why some of my students still do that. I'm not going to take a trade in that direction. Matter of fact, depending on, you know, how close that was, and after I reevaluate it, I may stop trading. But guess what? I didn't lose my money. You know, I recouped my first 3 losses and everything in that nature, or I minimized the losses because I was trading even trades and stuff like that, whatever the case may be. So there's some things that you can leverage and stuff like that or whatever. But yeah, I do have guys that just really overcomplicate, you know, this whole process, and it's very simple, guys, for you to follow and everything like that. And you can generate money once you understand the process and get it going, kind of going from there. So I think I'm going to tie this up really quick. Okay, those 2 you have one NT for what tuition level pertaining to, yeah, helping the accident, okay. Well, my MT4, I only teach on advanced, guys. So for those of you that are intermediate, one thing that you can look forward to is the 4-line reversal. You can actually go about the placements for that. But my advanced, this is what I call the alpha system. I mean, I have pretty much every successful system out there that I can go through. We can see all my templates and stuff like that. But my alpha system is pretty much my main one. Hopefully that's a clean graph. But alpha 1, let's see. So, and to be honest, this is my regular system that I use, and I can tell you guys exactly, if I still have it, how I set up my basis of this, okay? I have no problem showing you that. This is normally a Monopoly chart. If you come to your MT4, I delete this window. If you want to keep stochastics, that's pretty cool from here. Let's see, I take off my grid, and then I have my yellow moving average. I don't trade off of that. I delete that, and let's see, I probably come over, add some Heikin-Ashi candles as soon as that pop up. Let's see, I like to do sharp 2s just to fill it up. Now, some of my guys don't like the candles. I like to fill it up. And this is my basis foundation, okay? Now, the only difference with my alpha system is that I have a little bit more. I have alerts that pop up, so when markets does reach and stuff. But, and I don't want to confuse you guys, but let me come over to here really quick. Okay, and once again, the only difference is I have a little bit more going on with this one, and I have arrows and different things that's alerting me here, so that when market does reach certain areas, but all I'm using is pretty much just basic stuff right here. I mean, this is the only thing I'm really using, and to be honest, prior to, well, past my mentors and stuff like that, I wasn't using that. I was just using this to take trades and stuff, okay? And this is the thing. You guys have to understand this, and I don't have no problem going through this and stuff. You guys don't know how to read the market. You guys are worried about support and resistance and all this stuff, and that stuff does help. But depending on how you're trading, you would be using 5-minute time frame or 15-minute or 1 hour or 4 hour. Daily, I do not use daily time frames. I never use it. Most of the time using this time frame, this time frame, this time frame, occasionally this time frame, okay? And I mean, to be honest, and this is oil, but I can pop it on any asset. How hard is it to identify a long trend like this? And I mean, this is long term. We can pop this on a main asset because I want to show you guys. It's not BS or anything like that. Let's see if my clean has it. So my clean is already set up. I can take this off. So here's my clean. This is 1 hour. 1 hour is pretty decent. 15 may be too much, but 1 hour, and we can say 1 hour, this is for day. But for you guys to wait a week, how hard is it to identify this? Okay, even if you got this one trade out a week, how hard is it to identify this if it took you a whole week to do so? Okay, and this is the difference. What I'm teaching my guys on advanced is how to identify these long trades. Be patient for it to happen. Wait for it to set up and everything like that. It's always happening within a market, okay? These long trades. I mean, it's just really just identifying it. Now, there's a couple things that I've done, alerts, this and that, and all this stuff, but really it comes down to market knowledge. I take the same principles and concepts that I use with this graph here, okay? You guys see me analyzing this, and I put that on this. That's it, okay? Well, per se, there's a little bit more that goes into it, but the basic concept of it is it's the same thing. I'm looking for a channel trend just up on a much larger scale, okay? And most of the time I could find them on the H4 and stuff. So we can see here's the channel. Here's my channel trend right here, okay? Now, so then there's a couple things that I use and everything like that. But in a nutshell, that's what we're discussing on intermediate, excuse me, not intermediate, advanced. We got tools and resources that can help you and aid you. And then there's a couple other things that I give out on advanced. I give you guys my trading schedule. I give you guys my assets. And you also have our advanced resources that's going to get you guys 6- and 7-figure results no matter what you're doing, okay? But for the most part, I mean, you guys can take, in all honesty, the basic Tech 2, and you can use the graph here, and you can get you know, some type of feedback from that. Now, the 4-line reversal is much better, okay, because then you can add probability structures and stuff like that, and kind of go from there. Now, and here's that Euro USD, okay, so it bounced off of here. Once again, it bounced off, and guess what? How many times it did that? We quoted 11 times it bounced off of there, and then it came all the way up, and it broke above this. Broke above here, it tipped above here, okay, And let's bump this down. Hopefully we can see. No, so that's not it. So once it shot up to right here, that was the highest. It did that slightly, okay? Now look how high this is. So it's slightly higher, but then it crashed back down. So for instance, if I got in here and then I, you know, I lost and then I saw it broke above here, I would have taken a trade right around this area for slot 2 or slot 3. Now, if that broke out and I was on slot 4, I'm very cautious about still pursuing that trade. I was just like, hey, well, I lost 4 in a row. I'm gonna leave that alone, okay? But rest assured, you know, extra 2 slots, depending on where you got in, you would have gotten that, okay? Now, sometimes I'll get guys that come in and they'll take slot 1 right here, okay? As you guys can see what this is, and then slot 2 right here, and then slot 3 right here, and they're supposed to be going down. And then slot 4 right here, and then slot 5 right here, and then, you know, it's just but then again, you're getting in. Technically, that wasn't the real high. Your highs start off right here. So that's your high. So slot 1 would have been there. Slot 2 would have been here. Slot 3 would have been here or here. And slot 4 would have been somewhere around here, and you would have won that trade. Okay, but you guys are catching it on a high, but it's not the highest of the high, or you're catching it on a low, but it's not the lowest of low. And this is why you guys are blowing your accounts and stuff like that, okay? And once again, if you guys are doing whatever trading technique, you should have 3 times the amount in the account. So stop high-risk trading when you guys don't know your trading stats and everything like that. It's very simple. If you got $1,000, you only want to risk $300 on some slots, on whatever, $300 at max and stuff like that. Some people want to go a little bit less because you have to understand your trading balance is your career. I mean, you guys can work on a practice account freaking 6 months, 12 months, and keep $1,000 in your account. And then when you understand this stuff, then you guys can actually go in and grow that $1,000 without a problem. Instead of blowing your $1,000 and learning from your mistakes on $1,000. You know, I got guys that have real accounts and they still practice with trading accounts, new trading strategies and stuff like that, techniques, just to get that trading stats. All right. So I'm going to have to tie this up really soon, but I wanted to make sure you guys understood that, okay, and just really got that information and stuff like that. And yeah, I'll cover more of this during our actual trading webinar. This is more of a FAQ, but I did get into a little bit more in details, so which I went into it's twice as long. Alrighty. The charts that you would use on Novice is the 4-line reversal charts, Patrick. So refer to those chartings, and we use that with the fundamentals website that we do. So we would show you how to use that. So Novice is still good. I mean, you don't need to have MT4 or anything like that, but sometimes I got guys that come in, have MT4 and all this stuff, and then I would help them out. But I recommend you guys not even jump into MT4 just yet, because you need to understand this other stuff. If you need to understand how to read this broker's graph before MT4. You guys need to understand the next charting before that and the next charting before that. To be honest, MT4 I think is more of a it's for technically futures, forex traders, when you can do pending orders, pending contracts. And when you can get alerts midweek and stuff on trades and stuff like that. That's what this is for. When you guys are trading per se binary, I mean, you don't really need this too much unless you're doing like end of the month trades and all that stuff, end of the week, end of the day trades and stuff like that. The other chartings would work just as well and stuff. So I don't want you guys to think you can't be successful without having an MT4 chart, without having the alpha system and stuff like that. You can be successful with all the charting that I've mentioned before, okay? So just use whatever charting you guys have and get with the process and understand that. If you guys are not in a community yet, I mean, get where you fit in. That's very simple. I mean, whatever you guys can kind of afford to fit in. We do our best to do promos and everything like that, guys. We do our best to do payment plans and stuff. Guys, also keep up with our monthly performance, what you can find on the home page. Hold on, let's take a look. Okay, so monthly performance here. So keep up with this. Actually, I got to do June very soon, so we'll have that out before the weekend. So I give a lot of feedback on what's going on and different stuff, so keep up with this. This will really keep you guys updated with everything. But like I said, once you guys do come in, learn your information, take your time, practice as much as possible, get as much as feedback from your practicing and from the portfolio analysis, as well as you guys are sending chart, get as much as feedback, because every era will be a profitable day, okay? And that's what I tell my guys, you know, today's loss can be tomorrow's profit as long as you're learning from your mistakes, okay? And this is how I've gotten so successful. Most of my trading has been self-taught, okay? I would say about 95% of it has been self-taught from me taking X amount of trades, this and that. I mean, I've taken the basis of this principle from my my second trading mentor, and I've scaled this up so far. I mean, it's just unbelievable and stuff, but I got in this charting. But as far as identifying how to use this chart, my second mentor really didn't teach me how to go about using the charting so successfully, just taught me to be patient and everything like that. I've learned a lot more, and I've, you know, added custom indicators to this and everything like that, and I've reviewed different charting templates and everything like that. And to be honest, the only thing I did was improve my current trading stats. I didn't go out and look for new charting just because my old one wasn't working. I saw how can I improve my current, or not necessarily improve it, but how can I take my current stats to the next level, okay? Because, I mean, it was doing pretty great, but I wanted to take it to the next level because I knew it was just more of a challenge base. And then once I took it to the next level, I took it to the next level, and then pretty soon, I mean, there's really nothing, and I've spoke with professional traders that's been trading 50 years, 60 years, and there's nothing they can teach me per se in regards to the market. Okay, I mean, they have different indicators. Well, hey, did you know about this, or the diversions of this and all this stuff? They understand market terminology. Okay, that I do get. They understand that. They have market terminology over the education that I have. Okay, but as far as when it comes to analyzing the market, these guys cannot teach me nothing. I can actually go out and top whatever they're using and correct their errors in regards to their stuff. And they've been trading 50 years, 60 years, and they're professional traders. They do this for a living and all this stuff, and, you know, even hedge fund managers, okay? So my analysis is very, it's very unique. It's not textbook style trading when it comes to analyzing a market, but it's very duplicatable as well, okay? And here's that breakout. So we see that this is breaking out. And I would see traders try to get in and, you know, slot here or take some trades, and it's breaking out. You don't know where it's going to stop at. So this is a breakout happening. In the last 12 hours, this is pretty much, let's see, almost a high. So I'll pull out a little bit more. I'll probably wait for it to reach around here, but this is pretty much the high for the days right here. You know, but traders will get in here, and that's sort of a triple top. So that's order. So if you want to do, you know, one slot, starting off with slot one, you could triple top it and lock that market in because that's near the triple top. Or that can shoot up another 3 minutes, okay? But you guys can just watch this after this webinar and see what happens. See if it shoots back down from this price, Euro USD, or if it continues to rise, and if it rises, where is it going to stop at? But just watch it like the next 5 minutes and stuff like that. And that's just using that graph, so it's nothing extra or anything like that, guys. All right, so I mean, that's just pretty much it. Let me take a look here. Okay, so surprised using brokerage platform, but like the one what it says. Yeah, definitely. You have to, the stuff that you guys been learning, all that stuff, because like I said, when I came in to my second mentor, he told me to stop trading 60-second trades, and I've already discovered something trading short terms and everything, the algorithms of that. And to be honest, identifying these 1 minute time frames or whatever, picking trends have helped me identify 5 minute trends, 15-minute trends, 1 hour trends, and stuff like that. Those trends don't happen that often. But one minute trends will happen a lot faster and more times than a 5-minute trend, a 15-minute trend, but it's the same trend, okay? So what I've done is I've seen over 10,000 trends on a 1-minute time frame. So I've just scaled out, hey, that I've seen X amount of trends and this, and I'll have the most success with this. So that's why I've actually went ahead and just implemented that onto my 15-minute trends with MT4 and my 1 hour and stuff, and it's basically all the primary basis of the basic teachings, okay? And this is why I tell my guys that, hey, the basic truly is the starting foundation of everything else. The difference is that you guys get a little bit a different charting or a more evolved way of looking at the market and more different tools and resources that it can actually help you, okay? You can go from there. And that still went up, and we can see it stopped here, so it could double top and then crash back down as we've seen in the past, or it's going to break above there. But once again, depending on when you got in and all this stuff or got out there, I think it's only been 2 minutes in. We started watching this on the 13th, so I say give it take it 5 minutes to about until the 18th minute to see what it's doing. So yeah, but I mean, you guys can just follow this process, understand what's going on, learn this stuff. It's not something that I'm just making up or anything like that. This is what I understand about the market. The only way it won't work or it has delayed timing, okay, is during bank holidays or if it's the weekend or if the market just crash, okay? Now I want to trade a crashing market, to be honest, because I want the market to like totally crash, and I want to see if I can pick up the algorithms of that so that the next time the market crashes, I'm able to trade it, okay? And this is what I'm talking about. And once again, I'm not, projecting, predicting anything or going into these deep charts. I'm using this broker graph to analyze trends that I'm familiar with, okay? So once again, it came up to here, broke out to here. You guys would have got in, whatever, you would have caught it here and won it because it dropped down. If not, you would have caught it on a double right here because it did double here, and then it pulled down, okay? Now, and that's all within the time frame. So we started watching this at 11:13, 3 minutes in. It's already down the position where we saw it right here, okay? And that's just 1 minute time frame. So if we were coming out, once again, depending on where this was on the hot asset, maybe you would be able to take an entry here and then get out 30 minutes later. So that's more of a Tech 3, okay? But it just depends on how you guys are reading it and stuff like that. How long do you think I can use the demo account until I'm ready? I have almost 7 minutes of trading binary options. No, okay. Thing is, demo accounts. I recommend using the demo accounts minimum of 5 to 10 trading days. Okay. Another thing is, if you guys have been trading binary options 7 months, start to send in that portfolio for analysis so that we can correct it automatically. You guys get about depending on your level, you can get it multiple times in a month. We can do about 30-minute trades and stuff like that. Or what you guys can do is scratch all that stuff you've been trying to do, learn our stuff, and then start using your trading, your portfolio analysis for our trading material. Okay, that's the best way to go about it. But recommend minimum is 5 to 10 trading days. Okay. Also, understanding your trading stats. That's the key. I mean, and then it's how you guys want to do. Do you want to spend 2 weeks of actually using a trading account or whatever, and then go live and start making mistakes and stuff like that? I got guys that perfect, let's say, 2 weeks on Tech 2, and they understand Tech 2 to the fullest. So they use Tech 2 on their live account, and then guess what? They use their practice account for something like Tech 3 until they can get a full confidence to where it's not gambling. I mean, if you guys are trading binary and you're studying the process and you feel like, well, I think this is gambling, that means that you do not understand what's going on. Okay, once you understand it and comprehend it, it is no longer gambling, okay? And I've had, other traders and all this stuff. How is he trading brokerage graph? That's unrealistic, all this stuff. Oh, you're getting lucky. Well, I've been getting lucky for the past 2 years trading a broker graph, and I've made, thousands of dollars from doing this. So I guess I'm really lucky. And then, I tell my other students that if you position yourself, it's not luck, okay? For instance, and this comes more with Forex. Let's say if you guys are trading Forex and you expect the market to move 20 pips. Now you position yourself here and the market drops down, 50 pips, that is being lucky, okay? You didn't expect it to go down, 50 pips. You expected 20 pips, okay? But guess what? You were still in the position to take that sell trade, okay? But you didn't win because you're lucky because you was in this position. No, you positioned yourself to win and make a little bit more money from the odds of luck. So that's how being lucky works out, okay? All right. Yeah, for you guys that are on a much higher, like Alex Z, I believe you're on intermediate. So once we do intermediate webinar, I mean, you can go into great details on how to perfect that, or even basic. This is, primarily the basic structure right here, which I'm going over. But once again, I mean, you guys that are like not in our community, you don't have a formula, you don't have the risk management, everything like that. So at least you have some type of idea on what's going on. But once again, we have a lot more resources that you guys can aid, especially our PMA group shares too, guys. Look into that. That's just the collective money, and everyone's coming in and kind of pulling shares together, and we trade that on futures. It's regulated brokers. You guys are making money and everything like that. Here's another one, triple top. Okay, so these are terminologies that you'll get familiar with. Triple top there, then it pulled down. Let's see, and I mean, that's just pretty much it. Everything is there for you guys right now. Just learn it, follow the process, and we talk about it. Learn the material, do the assignments, follow the process. You should understand this stuff, okay, until you can live it and breathe it. I can live and breathe tech too, okay? There is no other thing. A person can't come in and say, hey, you're doing it wrong, or really a person can't even come in and say, hey, I can help you improve that, because I've mastered that. I know the strengths, I know the weakness, I know the algorithms of the market, and that's something else I teach on expert level. There's market algorithms that happens and everything like that, okay? And there's just kind of like the average algorithms. There's the bank holiday and weekend algorithms, and then there's just kind of unknown for no expected reason algorithms, okay? And I understand all those algorithms based around all these techniques, based around technique 2, technique 1, tech 3 would probably be the least one, but you still can get some solid trades doing it the way that I showed you guys on the home front there. Okay, if you take a look and see. Yeah. Yep, so I mean, that's just how it is. And then kind of just basically go from there. So in the live trading sections, you guys get more feedback. Portfolios give you feedback, and you guys are going to get results, point blank. Back in the olden days before my attorney used to have me take it off, I used to tell my guys, hey, we have PMA challenges. If you guys come in and follow this information and you're not making money, you're not profitable, I would refund people back their money, okay? I would, from out my own pocket, I would give them back their money and stuff like that. And let me tell you how many students that actually come in and challenge. I think we had about 30 or 40 students come in, hey, your stuff doesn't work and all this stuff, and then we do a portfolio analysis, and we can tell them, hey, we tell you in the basic structure not to trade this, not to do that. We tell you in webinar number 6 to follow this and follow that. We tell you in the trading methods to trade between this time and that time. So why is your portfolio showing everything different? Okay, of course it's not working. You're not following it 100%, okay? Now, if you follow it 100% and then you say, hey, I did it 100% and I'm not getting results, and we go back, most of the time, and I can tell you it has happened twice, when a person follows the results and they haven't, gotten the results and stuff that they wanted. The first time that it actually happened, it was reported, it was the broker manipulating the system, okay, manipulating their trading platform. So we figured that out, okay? And then on top of that, if the broker didn't reimburse them and everything like that, we would just go ahead and reimburse the broker and stuff, reimburse their trade and stuff like that or whatever. The second thing that we did, which was it? We used to send out trading schedules. For instance, Advance, I would send out a trading schedule to follow. We changed the schedule, and the person followed that schedule, and he actually lose money. Once again, I refunded that person's account out of my pocket, okay? But once again, if you guys are following risk management, you shouldn't be blowing your accounts regardless. So if you got $10,000 in your account or whatever, $1,000, and you lost $300 because of something that you followed and it didn't happen, what's $300 out of my pocket? Okay, especially when I'm doing 6 and 7 figures a year trading. Okay, but if you guys are not following it and you blow $1,000 and $2,000 and you want me to sit there and reimburse your full trading account, I'm not going to sit there and do that. Okay, so that's just a thing on how confident I am with the trading material and everything like that. In most cases, we have to stop that too, because once again, students are using brokers that wasn't listed and everything like that, and all of this stuff. So I mean, we're very confident in the material that we have here. All right. So I mean, this took a little bit longer, 3 times as longer. As I say to you guys, follow the process. Get within the community if you guys are not within the community. We got free trades that we give out, all that stuff. Keep up with the performance, and you guys shouldn't have any problems or anything like that. This is recorded. It'll be up probably in like 24 hours somewhere on a channel or something like that. All right, guys, I wish everyone much success, and of course, happy trading. Take care, guys.